Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This will be a longer video than all the shorts I've been putting out, but since it's so hot right now, I'm not going to show any planting today, but it's the weekend. I'm going to get everything in the ground, the garden filled up, but we'll just take you on a little tour, show you the plan I'm going to do this weekend, and some updates on what's going on. So we'll first start with the plants that I grew indoors here that I'm going to plant out maybe this evening if I have some time, or for sure tomorrow evening. But it's just way too hot. You do not want to plant in the middle of the day, the heat of the day. I like to do all mine in the evening. And the weather here has been crazy. We really did not get a spring this year. So everything is a little off than I'm used to every year. And that's Minnesota for you. You never know what the weather's going to be like. But it literally was like below freezing for like a week straight in the evening. Would get up to maybe 55, mid 50s during the day. Then a week and a half later, we're into the 80s, and it's been 80 every day ever since. So I have some of the spring, the cooler stuff that I don't know if it's going to work out, but I'll show you some of that. But anyway, like I said, here's all the plants that I started inside that I'm going to get out this weekend. The tomatoes are not as big as I would like them to be. This year was the year of doing things twice for me. I had to plant a lot of things twice. The tomatoes were doing good, and then I overwatered them or didn't take care of them properly. They all died off. So this is round 2 of the tomatoes, but they turned out. The same thing happened with peppers. I had to plant them twice, so they're not as big as I would like them to be, but I'd rather them be this size going into the ground than big and already flowering. This one we bought from a local greenhouse. As you can see, that's way big, but it already was having flowers on it. But I'm going to not pick the flowers off on that one. Typically, if I have bigger peppers, I will pick any flowers off before I plant them out, just so the plant focuses on the roots and not flowering and producing fruit. So we'll go on to the lettuce I have here, which I'm surprised this hasn't bolted yet. This is a Paris Island head lettuce, and as you can see, it's tolerating our mid-80 days very well without bolting. This is just a little gem butterhead, and that has not bolted yet either. The garlic that did come up and overwintered is looking really good. This is a gooseberry plant that I planted last year, and this is pretty much the only spot I'm seeing gooseberries on there, but it's looking really good for year 2. This was just some bunching onions that were in a different bed. I transplanted over to here because I'm going to try to save the seed off of them. Unfortunately, blackberry bush that I planted last year did not survive the winter, so I got to tear that out, replace it. But I'm sad about that because it produced some nice big blackberries last year. So I will maybe try one more time. This bed's going to be my 12 tomatoes and carrots. I did plant carrots in here already, and as you can see, I got to go through and weed out stuff and then try to decipher what's grass, what's carrot. You can tell that's grass, but you know, I can tell that's carrot right there, that's carrot right there. I don't know if I kept them watered enough. I might have to replant carrots again to go along with the theme this year, which is let's do everything twice, just because that's gardening, right? So this will be 12 tomato plants, the indeterminates that I single stem and with carrots in between. And we got the peas and the Brussels sprouts. So, like I said, with it being hot, peas don't necessarily like the heat, but I think they'll do fine. It's Minnesota. We might get to freezing again. Who knows? I did have one Brussels sprout that didn't make it, so last night I came out and put a eggplant in its place. So I just planted this one last night. And I ran to Tractor Supply today because my intentions were to get two 16-foot cattle panels because I want to arch one right here for my pickling cucumbers that I'll have come growing up each side, but they were all out of them. So I picked up this 8-footer because I knew I wanted to get a shade cloth. I've had this shade cloth for like 3 years and have not used it yet. So I picked up this 8-foot cattle panel, and I have my broccoli and cauliflower under it right now because this will bolt fast and I won't get any heads. We're supposed to be in the 90s this coming week, so it's not looking like it's going to cool down at all. So I just set this up a little bit ago, and hopefully it'll help out with those plants in there. And then on the other side, I'm going to be doing 6 Roma plants. So these will be my determinate tomatoes. I'm just going to do 6 of them, maybe 7 or 8, who knows, but for sure 6. And I'll just let all the Romas go crazy over here. Stake them up as much as I can. Strawberries, flowers everywhere. It's looking like the majority of them are probably June bearing. I was hoping to get some ever bearing in here, but if you've seen some of my other videos, where I'm doing the tomatoes and where the carrots were, them were all strawberries for the last 4 years. Last fall, I took some of the runners, put them in here, and this is what it actually, maybe 2 falls ago now. I don't remember. But I was hoping to get a mix of June bearing and ever bearing. Looks like mostly probably June bearing. Hopefully there is some ever bearing in here, but I should have a decent amount of strawberries. I mean, there are flowers and strawberries everywhere in here, so soon. Then over in this bed, we got the kohlrabi, 2 cabbages on the end, and then I think, I don't know what day it was, but it was maybe last Sunday. I came out here and I planted 2 rows of bush. I like the Blue Lake bush beans. Them are my favorite to grow. These are from seeds that I saved 2 years ago. So I just planted 2 rows here, and it looks like they're all just starting to sprout, come up. And then these are my sugar snap peas. And then I planted 2 more rows of beans on this side. And these are purple beans. Never grown purple beans before, so they're a purple bush bean. So that will be interesting. And yes, I know they turn green when I go to can them or cook them, but it'll be nice to have some color. And if you followed me in the past, you know that I just throw stuff everywhere. I cram everything in. So if you ever see anything like, well, you shouldn't plant them together, well, I just try everything. It's, you know, you can do whatever in your garden. It's your garden. It's your canvas. Plant things anywhere you want. And that's what I do. I just throw stuff anywhere. And then I had one kohlrabi plant that didn't make it, so I threw another eggplant in its place. This is the bed of corn, which I planted about a week and a half ago. Not all of it came up, but there's plenty there to where I'm not worried about. It should easily be able to pollinate each other. So as long as it's knee-high by the 4th of July, right? So I got it in, what, a month? But corn grows fast. If I don't get the corn to grow this year, and I don't get any good cobs off of it, I will not grow corn again, because this is my 2nd attempt. First attempt was 2 years ago. I got the stalks nice and tall. The cobs and the ears were starting to form really well, and then I don't know what happened. It seemed like the leaves got all rusty. So I don't know if that was a disease they got, but I didn't get any corn, so I only try things a few times. If I can't get it to work, I just don't try it again. I don't want to. I could be planting something else there that I know produces, and I hope I get it to work because I love corn, and a dozen of corn now is not as cheap as it used to be. So, I'll just run up to a little local stand right in town, people selling it out of the back of their truck, and they want, I don't know what I paid, like $24 for a dozen last year for fresh local sweet corn, which is crazy. So we're going to hope that works. Then we got the herb bed. Yes, I have to come out here and chop down all these chives before all these flowers go to seed, and then there will be chives everywhere. So I will come out this weekend, chop all that down. We got cilantro, oregano, some rosemary, another rosemary, sage, 2 different basils, a parsley, and that's it for right now in that bed. My sad blueberry bush, hopefully it starts to take off one of these years. But I don't know what it is. I'm just struggling with the blueberry. But like I said, hopefully it's still alive. I haven't killed it yet. So there's always hope. This is a cherry tomato that my neighbor gave me last weekend. She said she bought too many of them. So she gave it to me last weekend, and I planted it there. And it has probably already doubled in size over the week from when she gave it to me. This is tarragon. This is the only herb we had that actually overwintered. I did not plant this year or nothing. It started growing back in this fabric pot, and bonus, right? Then we got our potato beds that I have not planted out yet. That will be this weekend too. I have had some trouble, to say the least, finding potatoes. I waited till last second, and I cannot find seed potatoes anywhere. Luckily, I had one place where I ran this morning. They had enough Kennebecs for me to do this whole bed, half of that bed, and my plan is to do the other half with reds, and I still do not have red potatoes. So, lesson learned. I will buy them early next year because I've been really stressed. I love growing potatoes. Yes, they're not going to save you a bunch of money, but they're probably one of my favorite crops to grow. Just because you never know what you're going to get. I just love growing them. I love eating them. But I've been stressing.
And they like watching them.
So, yeah. Stressing is probably an understatement. I've been sweating over finding seed potatoes. But that's my fault. Nobody else's fault. These pots over here, we got some lavender, mint, some thyme. That's actually the mint and the thyme I grew from seed indoors. The thyme's starting to come back. The lavender we bought. These are garlic chives. They're not looking very good. And then this is chamomile. I probably need to get some water on it.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, the bumblebees have been like very big this year. But the chamomile I started from seed indoors. Yeah, I need to get some water on it. But most of the other herbs we bought this year just because I struggled. Then we got the onion bed. The onions are looking really good. Now we just got an inch of rain finally last evening, so I know I don't need to water this because it's still really wet down there. That was the first rain we've got here in a few weeks, and we got like my rain gauge said just over an inch in like 35 minutes, so well needed. These are some more cabbages here, 9 here, and the rest of the bed, I don't know yet. I have a plan. It's indoor, written down somewhere, but things can change. So I don't know. I got a lot of plants to plant and not much space left, so we'll figure it out. Some more onions, kale plant, some more lettuce plants and radishes. I picked some radishes that were big last night, and I'll probably have to pull the rest here soon because they will probably start to bolt and probably not even grow since it's so hot out, and figure out what I can put in its place. Then I'll have to get the lettuces pulled out too. The kale, that will survive all summer long, so I'm not worried about that. And then so I got the whole rest of that bed, so I still got plenty of room for all my plants, but I do have some melon plants that are going to take up a lot of space, so I don't really plant anything else in there, that bed, other than melons. But I'm going to put the melons in this bed. There's nothing in here. This is where the cattle panel trellis will be, so I'll do the pickling cucumbers right along it, and then I'll put the melons down at the far end and let them all start growing this way. And then over here, these two little wooden boxes, I will put a butternut squash in one and a buttercup squash in the other, and then I'll just let them vine out and grow down the paths, and I'll just move them around as I have to, or we'll let them go down the edge of the fence here. And I picked up some marigold flowers yesterday when I bought my pickling cucumbers, because mine did not grow. I used old seed, and I had one out of like 8 sprout, so I had to buy some pickling cucumbers. And then last but not least, we got all the asparagus. I just got done weeding it not that long ago, and I was sweating. It's hot out here, but it's all looking good. We've had, I think, 3 meals with it now. My daughter's had 1, so I don't know if I'll pick any more. I might just start letting it go now, and because you really only get 3-4 meals with how much I got. I probably could get another 1 or 2, but at some point you just start letting it grow, and at some point you just start letting it all grow so it can store all that energy and send it down to the root system for winter. So anyway, that's an update. That's a tour for now. I will maybe do some shorts of me just planting some stuff later tonight or tomorrow if I remember to. It's kind of hard to hold the phone and do it all, but I can figure it out. But anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye. And saving all the, storing all the,